Hey,
Hey.
we just saw a movie months, maybe years ago. These episodes, one of the ones you're listening to and a couple of ones before, maybe after this, I don't know what order you're listening to, are episodes that we did a while back before we even started the podcast, when we were just kind of tooling around with the idea, tinkering with the idea, whatever the term is. So, yeah, if you want to see how it was in the beginning, before the land before time, we should watch that one. Then, check this one out.
Enjoy.
Cue the intro music.
Hey.
Hey.
We just saw a movie.
Yeah, we just saw a movie. I'm Josh.
I'm Michelle. We're going to talk about...
How we just saw a movie.
Yeah, specifically...
Specifically.
You know how you go to the movies with your friends, your spouse, or whatever afterwards? Well, for us, afterwards, there's always this after-movie discussion about if you like it, if you didn't like it, what you thought, if you think the thimble fell over at the end of, what's that movie? Inception?
I don't think it was the thimble. It wasn't spinning a thimble.
A top.
Yeah,
top.
top.
There's movies, you have discussions afterwards. So we thought maybe this might be interesting to listen to. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're like, if Leonard Maltin can do it, we could do it.
Sure, I don't know who that is.
That's sad for our movie reviewing podcast.
We're not exactly reviewing. We're just chatting.
It's a chat view.
I don't claim to be a movie buff. I just like to see movies.
This podcast is going to be confusing to you only. So what movie did we see?
Okay, we saw The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yeah. I actually was very surprised. I liked it.
I thought it was very funny.
It is up there with the movie Spy, which is also a spy movie with comedic actresses. One actress.
Yeah.
This has two. And looks really expensive, just like Spy. So I was pretty surprised on all the stuff that was going down. As you know, if you've listened to the other one, we spoil stuff. So it was much gorier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah. So, spoiler alert, we'll just say...
I already said spoiler.
But if you haven't seen the movie, just stop listening, because we'll probably give stuff away.
Yeah.
The fight sequences and all that was impressive for considering, this was a funny movie. It was a comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have been weird to go to the studios and be like, hey, we need, I don't even know how many millions of dollars. Like, we're going to Prague, we're going to here, we're going there. We need 5 motorcycles. We need to flip a car. We need to do
tons of stunt people,
some explosions. I think the craziest thing was the movie started and didn't somebody get shot in the face or something like that? It was like the first scene. Somebody was getting shot. A couple of people got shot.
Oh yeah.
Dead.
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, whoa. Okay.
The boyfriend, he was doing his spy thing. He had to kill people.
Oh right, yeah. So he just shot a bunch of people. So I was like, wow, that's a weird way to start a comedy with people dying.
Right.
But they died in funny ways, didn't they? Was it funny?
He beat up one guy with a cue ball and his scarf.
Oh yeah. Because he was.
He stole that cue ball. By
he stole
the
the scarf too.
Oh, he did.
I'm pretty sure
that wasn't his.
Which
scarf.
was weird because the lady at the wherever where they're at the market, she just looked at him, and I'm like, you would know what your scarf looked like, and that guy put the scarf around his neck.
He didn't pay you for it. He's just stealing from these people and then shot up the market.
Yeah. I always feel bad in all action movies for the people that are just trying to go on with their lives. Then it's like, hey, somebody just drove through my gelato station.
Right.
And I don't really have insurance because it's not really a thing I would think I would need in a small town on the coast of Italy.
That reminded me of this short-lived TV show. I don't even remember what it was called, but I think it had something to do with the fallout from... Because, in action shows... superhero movies, too. There's always, the tons of fallout for all the bystanders, right? And so
that was with...
the Disney girl.
Yeah, and then...
Vanessa Hudgens, I think.
Funches. Ron
Funches, and so they were inventing things for all the bystanders to protect themselves, I think is what the show was. But yeah, the same thing with like action movies and Jason Bourne and everybody's like Tom Cruise. Everybody's just running around tearing up towns and
Yeah, like they run through your apartment, smash your window, break all your plants, run down the fire escape.
Yeah.
It's like, who do I bill for this?
Which we have to give a special mention to the two stoners in this movie.
They just sat there the whole time whilst they were the main guy was running. Oh yeah, that was in the first scene.
As the spy is running from the bad guys, and he charges through their apartment, destroys the balcony, and they don't even blink. They're just happy watching TV high, whatever.
They never showed what they were watching, was it?
I don't think so.
Probably SpongeBob and like Ukrainian.
Probably.
Or whatever. Yeah. So I thought I didn't. I don't have a problem with Mila Kunis. She's just been doing a lot of comedies lately, and she's not really been that great at it, in my opinion. But this one, she actually did a good job, and she like didn't seem like she was like being like, I'm gonna be funny or I'm gonna react funny. You know, and she wasn't always like the straight man, so that was cool. Like, I feel like she's grown as a comedic actress. Oh, wow.
Grown.
Yeah. Oscars, here we go.
She had a great... she's in this movie with Kate McKinnon, so she had a good partner to be funny with.
Yeah, but
maybe
she
Kate helped elevate her comedic performance.
Maybe it takes somebody else to call her higher, but...
Yeah.
A lot of times when you have someone who's that funny, the other person just seems way worse.
That is true.
You know, like...
So Mila stepped it up. She held her own.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe Kate was like pushing her to boundaries.
Okay, so by the way, if you don't know what this movie's about, it stars Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, and also Justin Theroux.
Yeah, not Justin Trudeau,
boyfriend.
which I'm always confused about.
He's the spy who dumps her. And then there's another guy. I don't know how to say his name. It's Sam Hugen. No idea. But he's in there too. So Mila Kunis gets dumped by her spy boyfriend.
And he's the British one?
Yeah, he was the British one. And then they think he's dead. They have to save the planet. They end up running all over Europe trying to save the world, basically. And so then there's all these people after them. So they... You know, they're not spies, so it's funny when they try to spy. Yeah,
it's a fish out of water, normal person spy movie. What was really crazy to me is, like, they took the killing pretty quickly. But I think that's kind of like the fight or flight, you know, because when you're in a situation like that and someone's about to kill you and you do have a gun in your hand.
Oh, yeah.
And you have no ties to them, you know, hopefully you would kill them.
And they weren't, like, bumbling, dumb girls. Like, they handled business when they had to handle business.
Yeah.
Like, Mila, her character...
like a lady boss.
Yeah, sure. She
mean like a boss?
She grabs the gun and takes the guy out when it needed to happen. So they were definitely not... This was not a damsel in distress thing going on.
Yeah, Kate, I liked her character and what they did with her character and, like, who she was. Like, her relationship with her parents. She was always calling her parents. And they got found out. She called her parents from overseas, so they tracked it. But that whole thing with the parents was really funny. And then, you know, like, Kate McKinnon is really great, but in a movie, I'm always wonder, like, is it going to be too much? Because she's kind of like really...
Is she a bit much, Josh?
No. She wasn't in this movie.
That's a callback from the movie.
Oh, yeah. He did say that was a bit much. But... Yeah. She was great. I was telling Michelle that this is what Ghostbusters reboot should have been. Is like two funny women doing an interesting story, and not whatever that was of the Ghostbusters movie. But I feel like they, like, yeah, I did all of them. I was kind of like worn out by about 15 minutes into Ghostbusters, but
yeah,
Kate McKinnon, like, she did a really awesome job. It was really funny throughout, you know, for the whole... It was a 2-hour movie.
It was a long movie. I was surprised when I saw that. But, you know, it's because it wasn't just a comedy. It was an action comedy. So I feel like action movies are longer.
Yeah, you have chase scenes. Mm-hmm. Like the one that had the one with the Uber driver.
This was one of my favorite chase scenes, I think, ever, maybe.
Well, because it was very realistic.
Yeah, because it was just funny.
Well,
and...
it wasn't realistic, but how people would respond
right
to being shot at a chase scene. So if you've watched it, you know, like that guy. What did he say? He was like, cool or something.
He's like, yeah. And then before this, I took a bunch of... What did he take?
He did a bunch of math.
Yeah.
But no, I thought he said something like cool or let's do it, and then just got shot in the side of the head. Like
he said high five.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, high five, and then immediately gets shot in the head.
Brains.
And then Mila sits on top of him to drive the car.
To drive the car, and his head's just
They don't shove him out. She's just like, we gotta handle this. I'm gonna climb on top of this dead Uber driver.
And what the funny thing is she wasn't saying ew the whole time. Like,
no.
I feel like I would have been like,
yeah.
I'm like sitting on this dead guy. This is extremely gross, but...
Yeah. I mean, I guess he'd only been dead like 10 seconds, so...
It doesn't matter, he's dead.
Yeah.
Once somebody's dead, I'm kind of like, I'm done.
No, yeah, it's weird. I mean, but she also cuts off somebody's thumb, so...
That's true, that was pretty
ruthless. So to that point, she did not seem... I thought of this, she did not cry when her boyfriend died. Even though they were broken up, but she still clearly loved him because she was calling and texting him all the time. She didn't cry when she thought he was dead. And then also, they didn't much care that Roger was dead in the bathtub. And so
they had a lot of things that were more important than that, though.
Well, yeah, but so she was fine with the dead Uber driver.
Yeah, I think she did a better job at handling herself than Kate McKinnon's character did. Kate McKinnon's character would like freak out. She was just kind of like... She's like, no, let's go. Yeah, that's funny. She didn't really... But I guess that's why they became spies in the end. Like, essentially, like, they proved themselves as not being
They're afraid. Tough broads.
Of being afraid of guns or, you know, getting their hands dirty and definitely hands dirty.
Yeah.
Not dirty, not to say. Where you put hard drives in that area is dirty, but you know what I mean.
You're talking about her USB port?
Yeah, she uploaded some files. Some front-loaded files.
You know what? I honestly thought it was going to be in the butt.
Well, yeah, when she dragged Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, I thought she was
just going to pull her pants down and just do the whole...
Yeah.
I think if this was a guy's movie and a guy had written it, it would have been that. It would have been literally like, dude, what are you doing? Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it was like, whoa, and you see the face. Oh.
Yeah.
And then it does the echo, and then it's like, you know, the birds fly out.
Right.
And then it shows them coming out of the building like, man, that hurt. And then they make some prison joke or something like that. That would have been some trope hack thing.
Yeah. So, you know, she was creative and...
She saved the world.
She saved the world with her vagina.
It was essentially like she birthed a new world by saving the world. It's like she gave birth to it.
Okay, what did we think about... Oh, what's her name? Gillian Anderson?
She played
the boss?
She played a boss lady.
Okay.
She looked bossy.
She did look bossy.
She played it well.
I will say that even though they ran that scene in every commercial for this movie, so I'd already seen it a million times.
Oh, the first time she comes on camera?
I still thought it was hilarious during the movie. Her whole, she is Beyonce, that is the Beyonce of the government, and all her little
I still liked it. I wasn't like, a lot of times I'm annoyed by the time I go in the theater and I see stuff like that, but I still thought it was funny.
I did notice a scene from the trailers, or from all the commercials that was not in the movie.
What was that
was the one where they're on the bicycles, and the cops all go by, and then they hug to avoid being caught.
Right. That scene, that
whole scene
essential,
was cut.
like, that location happened, but that scene did not.
That scene did not happen.
Because they were just looking for the place.
Yeah, they were looking for Roger.
The guy who was the assassin who played Roger, I love that actor. I don't know his name.
Me too.
But he's always somebody interesting, quirky, like he was. Like, oh, would you like a Bordeaux? Would you?
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I love that guy.
Kind of an intellectual.
Yeah.
He got creep in this movie.
Yeah. Wasn't he the dad who killed himself at his kid's house at Crashing?
What?
Remember their dad killed himself? Like, he took some pills or whatever. He was just I'm going to die with dignity at your house. Casual, yeah. Did I say Crashing?
You did say Crashing.
That's Pete Holmes' show.
Yeah, no, on
Another
Casual,
great show.
Yes.
Yeah, that was him. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know his name.
Hassan Minaj.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
He did a pretty good job. I was kind of bummed he ended up being a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he did a good job with his whole Harvard shtick.
Oh,
Because
that
he
was
seems
funny.
like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, he could play that jerk pretty well. So, I was thinking about it, like, when he turned out to be the bad guy. I was like, I wonder if he felt weird because, like, in his stand-up, he talks about how, he doesn't want to be a stereotype. But then I was like, he's just playing a guy. Like, he's not playing an Indian guy
Right.
that's like a terrorist or whatever, or a
Right.
brown guy that's a terrorist. He's just playing a guy, just like if you were to cast
She's
any other
playing
person.
an opportunist guy.
Right, opportunist guy that ends up being shady. So,
Right.
I thought that for a second. I was like, oh, this is not the same thing. And I'm sure that's what he just was like, yes. Yeah,
I kind of wanted more Hassan. I thought he would be in the movie more. I thought he was going to be maybe a part of all the
Yeah,
shenanigans.
you thought he was going to be a part of like the funny shenanigans, not the bad guy shenanigans.
Right, yeah. Which was fine. He's the bad guy. And how he goes out is pretty darn funny. With the traveler at the hostel, I guess they were at.
Oh, yeah. He just body slams
smashed.
him like neck first into the ground.
Right.
I feel like I've seen that guy. I feel like that guy has been in other things. The guy who was in the hostel.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then that guy she brought home, like at the beginning of the movie, it turned out to be a spy.
Oh, yeah.
And he was just like butt naked.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
But the funny thing was, like, I think that was just like a distracting tactic so he could shoot him. So everybody's like, what is happening? And then he just comes out with the gun. So remember, if you bring somebody home, make sure they're not trying to kill your roommate's boyfriend.
Yep.
That would be the best idea.
It's always the first question to ask.
Are you trying to kill my roommate's boyfriend who happens to be a spy? And they're like, I'll be right back. I gotta take care of some things.
If I say yes, is this date over?
Yeah. It's like, well...
I feel like Kate McKinnon's character, what was her name? This whole movie, and what were their names?
Andrea?
No, it was Audrey. Oh, Morgan.
Ooh, that's close.
Oh, right, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman,
They
yeah.
dropped that like 2/3 through the movie,
Yeah.
even though they had said her first and last name separately throughout the movie. I didn't put it together until the character put it together.
I never remember character names.
Yeah.
I always have to ask you, like,
So
who's
her
that guy?
name in the
Morgan
movie
Freeman.
was Morgan Freeman.
Oh, yeah, another little thing that I thought was funny is when they got that email from one of the guys that was dirty, he was also from Harvard. And I leaned over and said this to you. It said Harvard-11. So it was just like another Harvard chum he had his signature letting everybody know that he graduated
Right.
from Harvard in 2011. So I thought that was pretty funny. They have a lot of, little touches in there. Little touches in the movie. And then, like the little featurettes, I guess, at the end when the credits are running were pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. Stick around. Don't get up right away.
Upright.
Well, you've probably already seen it if you're still
Hopefully.
listening. But yeah, I did like the little after or during credits scenes, I
Yeah.
guess. Kate McKinnon she had a pretty good strut down that hallway when they were spies at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
funny. It was all over the top.
Yeah, that Russian girl was pretty intense as well.
Oh, yeah. What did I say? She looks like a human praying mantis. Her face was so angular, and actually, she morphed into different people because I didn't even realize that was the same girl for a minute. When she gets in the car from the runway show, her hair's all back.
Oh, right.
And so then
It's in
the
that
next time we see
glass
her,
looking.
right, the next time we see her hair's all forward.
What's
and
her
it's
name?
blonde. And, I was confused for a second who the heck these people were. What was that character's name? So I can look her up.
Russian girl.
Russian girl.
Didn't she have like a Russian
Oh, yeah,
name?
it was a really strange name.
Yeah, I was like, I would never.
Nadija. Okay, so her real name is Ivana Sakno? Maybe? Sakno? Sakno?
Senka?
Well, let's just say she's Ivana.
Trump?
No.
What's she been in?
Let's see. She was in Pacific Rim Uprising.
Didn't see it.
Nope. And some really Russian sounding things because I can't pronounce them. I don't know what they are. And then something called The Body Tree, Can't Take It Back, Ivan the Powerful, And then I don't know what the rest of them are.
Yeah, like she's just imported. Like,
Oh, yeah, but she
like
was...
Svetka.
She was good.
Yeah, she was cool. I like that part when they were asking her, like, do you have a friend? And it was just the balance beam. And then she was just like, you're not changing me. Like, I'm ready to kill.
Right.
Yeah. She got killed by the anchors and the Cirque du Soleil thing.
Is that what she crashed onto? Anchors?
Yeah, I think they were like anchors, or they might have been. I forgot. It was a war museum. It was those things that stop tanks from advancing.
Yeah,
Anti-tank
it stopped her
thing. Yeah, there was no more advances when a piece of steel goes through your intestines.
And this was in Berlin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so all the audience thought it was a part of the show.
Are you saying because Germans?
I'm just saying. I'm wondering.
Realize people hurt.
Right. Is that a commentary on the steeliness of the German people?
Steel, because you fell on steel. And then...
No.
Is that the place that we didn't go into? That war museum? I was like, we should go into that war museum. And then we're like, do we want to pay $19 each? Yeah.
Well, now you've seen it.
Now you see
the movie.
You saw two exhibits. You saw the one where she was trying to pull the gun off of the...
Oh, yeah.
The mannequin.
Like the musket or something.
Yeah, the musket. And then we saw the area that has the anti-advancing tank steels.
Yeah. That's probably have a real name.
Yeah. But whatever the acronym is for that.
Right. It was just a fun movie.
Yeah.
I think I went in with low-ish expectations. I thought it was going to be funny. I, to be honest, have sort of a low bar. With comedies, I guess. I don't overanalyze them because I did look up. I found that this movie got 37% on Rotten Tomatoes.
By critics or people?
By critics.
Oh, nobody cares about critics.
Nobody cares about critics, I guess.
You hear that, critics?
We don't care. We're not critics. Okay, well, here's what makes sense. 37...
Acting!
37%.
That's John Lovitz and not the character, the critic. But go ahead, sorry.
37% tomatoes, 82% audience popcorn score. However you say these.
I wonder what what their beef was.
But yeah, what's your problem, critics? Because the people enjoyed this movie. It was funny.
Yeah, it was good. I think it could have been a little bit shorter, but I don't know where you would cut it. It was just 2 hours. Seemed a little bit long. I think.
Did it feel long to you? Like you.
Sometimes when they go from like location to location to location to location to location, I start going like, wait, where are we going with this?
Right.
And then especially action movies, I'm waiting for the upload, especially since now everything's digital. So what would usually happen is in the 80s there was a rocket. So something would happen, they would get the launch codes, the rocket would start counting down, and then they would have to disarm the rocket and kill the bad guy. So in most action movies, they started in the 2000s, it was the files need to be uploaded or downloaded somewhere for it to like spread a virus or whatever would happen. And so I was like, wait, are we going to do one of those upload download things? Because then we got to like build the suspense and then they're fighting and then someone's on
it's always the last second.
Yeah, if someone's on a catwalk and they're like,
right.
The keys are falling and then they got to grab them and then they kill the guy and then they got to run over and disarm it and somebody's got to kiss. So I was like, oh man, we got to do that. But they didn't do any of that. So,
well, speaking of files, I did love that Morgan Freeman dated Snowden in high school or
that was a funny little thing.
Junior high or whatever that was.
I had forgotten about it by the time it came back around. She's like, do you know somebody who can decrupit this file?
She's like,
I know a person. And I'm like, who does she know?
I thought she was going to call her dad again.
Yeah. I was like, her dad is a lawyer.
A lawyer. He doesn't know.
And then it was Edward Snowden. Cameo,
but not
fake
really.
Cameo.
Yeah, fake cameo.
So yeah, that was cool.
Edward Snowden by a silhouette.
Yeah.
Mostly.
So.
But apparently he had the hots for his former flame.
Yeah. He was in love with Morgan
Freeman. Edward, you heard it here first. Edward Snowden
is in love with
Morgan Freeman. I think maybe we should just end on that.
Yeah.
We're ending on love.
Between Morgan Freeman and Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
Is Edward Snowden even in Russia anymore?
I don't know. Was he in Russia in this movie?
Yeah. You didn't see the Kremlin?
Oh,
no. Out the window?
I didn't notice.
You were just staring at the silhouette?
I saw there were buildings, but I didn't really notice what they were.
You're like, I thought it was New Orleans.
It didn't look like the U.S. I got that. I just,
Yeah, that's Philadelphia, right? It's Independence Hall. All right. Guten Morgen.
Guten Tag.
Steve Guten Tag.
Steve Guten Tagberg.
Yes. Shalom.
Oh, did you catch the joke, though? When
Which
she
joke?
said, the woman in the bathroom said, Guten Morgen. And then Morgan said, Guten Vern, because the lady's name was Vern.
I did miss that.
I thought it was
I think
funny.
I was trying to guess what was going to happen.
You thought she was going to get attacked in the bathroom, didn't you?
Yeah. I was
too.
waiting for a big bathroom fight.
Yeah.
And then the fight was actually outside.
Right.
And then Vern was killed immediately. So
not
sad.
immediately, but...
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay, well then on that note, so Vern was bad then.
Who... Yeah, because the boyfriend was going to meet
said,
with Vernon. Yeah.
Take this to Vern.
Vern, yeah, not Vernon. Vern. Know what I mean?
Right.
Vern?
So Vern was bad the whole time.
Yeah. She deserved to die. I don't care if she had a family.
Shouldn't have been bad.
All right, Steve Guten Tag.
All right. Guten Nacht. I hope is that good night?
No, that is not.
Guten Nacht?
I don't know. We haven't been on Duolingo in a while.
All right. Guten
Bye.
Tag. Au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye-bye.